Now we've created the schedule, it's time to assign resources to the activities. First, we have to create the activities. Start by going to Plan, Resources. As you can see right now, there's no resources defined. So I'm just going to create some of these. Need an electrician, type labor, normally loaded, and we're going to put this at a cost of $1. I'll explain to you later what we're going to do with this $1. The next one, excavator. I'm going to put it as labor. It's a combination of excavator and person. Next is expenses. The crane. I'm going to make that an expense as well as $1. Need a carpenter. Labor, $1. General labor. We'll put this labor, $1. Iron worker. Labor, $1. Operator. $1. Plumber. $1. Rough carpenter. $1. And the last one is trades. It's labor. And this is also $1. So I've created all my resources. Right now, we haven't determined any uncertainty to these resources. We'll cover that later on. So right now, we just created all the resources that we're going to apply to this schedule. The site excavation is going to cost $15,625. Remember that when we created the resource, we set everything to $1. The way to assign resources is you go down here to the resource tab in the bottom and then find the resource you want to assign. In this case, I'm going to select the excavator. It will come as normally loaded as we defined. And since we set everything to $1, we can set the total amount in the remaining column. So I'll put $15,625 there. And you can see at the cost is here, $15,625. For excavation, we need the excavator again. And in this case, it's going to cost us $8,500. To uninstall the underground water lines, we need a plumber. And it's going to cost us $5,000. For the underground electrical conduit, we need an electrician. And that's going to cost us $4,000. To form and pour concrete footings, we need an iron worker. And that's going to cost us $6,000. And we also need the rough carpenter, $6,000. We need an operator, $7,000. And we need a crane. Expense crane, and the crane is going to be 12,000. Next activity is concrete foundation walls. For that we need iron worker, and the cost is going to be 9,000. We need general labor. Cost is also 9,000. We need a rough carpenter, 9,000. And we need a crane. And the crane is going to cost us 36,000. Next is form and pour slab. We need a finish carpenter. Finish carpenter. For $5,000 for the activity. Iron worker, 5,000. Rough carpenter, 4,000. And general labor. It's general labor, 4,000. And a crane for 20. For the final activity, backfill and compact the walls, we need the excavator for an amount of $6,000. And we need a finish carpenter for an amount of $2,000. So all the resources are now assigned to the project. And because I've inserted the column remaining cost and I've got this total WBS element, it actually gives me the total for this project right now. $173,125. Now, if you want to assign resources and you have a day rate, how does that work? So let's create another resource. I'm just going to create an engineer. An engineer is obviously going to be labor. It's going to be normally loaded, but this engineer is going to cost us $1,000 per day. So I've created the engineer, and now I want to link the site engineer to, let's say, site preparation. So if I click and select the engineer, you can see that I have now one engineer per time period. This is 20 days, so it's going to be $20,000 of cost. If I would have entered hours, then the number of units per period should be 8. But in this case, I created a day rate, so the number of units per period is going to be 1. Now let's create another resource. I want to create a site superintendent. So I'm going to my resource, scroll to the bottom, and create superintendent. Superintendent is also labor, and he's going to have a day rate of $800 a day. Now the site superintendent is going to be at the project from start to finish. So I'm going to create, so the duration that he's going to be on the job depends on the total length of this part of the project. So I'm just going to create a new line item here called superintendent. And this activity is a hammock. We're going to create a hammock activity. Now to make it stretch and shrink relative to the project, I'm going to link it to the milestones. So I'm just going to move this over slightly. So I'm going to create a start to start relationship here. And I'm going to create a finish to finish relationship there. Go to my resources and I'm going to find my superintendent. And you can see it's already determined that the site superintendent is going to be there for 93 days with his daily rate is $74,400.